Hey guys, so I am here, not with the word, but just to speak to you guys a little bit and give you a little bit of back story of some of my experiences that I had to go through in life. Some of these stories you may resonate with, some you may not. Some of you have had an easygoing life, some of you had smooth sailing lives. For me, for instance, I have been through a lot, and I think it was all lessons behind everything that I had to go through. And I just was sitting back, really just looking at all the things that God had brought me out of and delivered me from, and you know how amazing God is. So all the glory goes to God. Always, 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 because I couldn't have did any of it by myself. And I didn't even know at the time that God had his hand in certain situations, but he had his hand all in the situation with a lot of the things that I had went through. And when I tell people, certain things, they be like, you went through that? And yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And some of the things, a lot of the things I've already healed from. That's why I'm able to speak on. But let's just get into it. So first of all, I want to tell you guys about this story here. I have many of stories, but I just want to share this one time when God had came in and, changed things. He was in the situation at the time. Okay. So here we go. So, I'm gonna be real with you guys and, give it to you guys raw and uncut. I had went to jail right before. This was in 2013. I had went to jail, and I never thought I would go to jail. Never thought that I would be that person, but I ended up going to jail. And it was a situation. It was an assault charge that they gave me, and the sentencing was a 2 to 10 year sentence. That means I was supposed to have got either between 2 to 10 years of a sentence. But however, God was in the midst, okay, of the situation. So let me give you guys a little backstory. So, this incident happened with my child's father, and me and him had got into it. At the time, my child, he was allergic to mosquitoes, and I didn't know, he didn't know that he was allergic to mosquitoes. And when he get bit by mosquitoes, he would blister up. And again, I didn't know that, and he didn't know that. So one day he had him on the weekend. He ended up bringing him home, and he had all these blisters on him. He had a hospital bag. He didn't call me and tell me he went to the hospital or nothing like that. So, me as a mother, I'm asking like, what happened? Like I am overprotective of my children, always have been. And I probably went a little too far this time, but I mean, when it's for your kids, I mean, they're your kids. So anywho, he came in with the hospital bag, and I'm like, what is this? What is this on his body? Like, what is this? And he couldn't even explain it. He didn't know what it was. So, he handed me the bag, and he was on his way out, and I kind of like, did something I was supposed to, and um, you know, caught an assault charge, aggravated assault charge at that. So again, like I stated, it was a 2 to 10 year sentence. I didn't think that, he was going to call the police. So after I did what I did, probably an hour later, I ended up laying down, or 30 minutes later, I ended up laying down on the couch trying to get some rest. And next thing you know, here go the police at the door, and, they questioned me and things like that. So long story short, they end up arresting me. So let me tell you, again, this was in 2013, y'all. And I can laugh about it now because, again, I've healed from certain things in my life. And this is one of the things I've healed from and can share with you guys. So anywho, I ended up going to jail. Let me tell you, I ended up going in the cell. They put me in this here cell, right? I had 3 other people in there with me. And one of the ladies that was on the top bunk, I was on the top bunk, she was on the other side of the top bunk. So it was me at this top, and then it was someone below me, and then on the other side of us it was another top bunk, and then it was someone below her. So a total of 4 people in one cell. So the lady at the top bunk, she was telling me, I was telling her who my lawyer was, right? And she was like, oh, I have the same lawyer. She said, he got me a lot of years. If I were you, I would switch him, because I've been in here 4 years, and when I leave here, then I have to go, like, she had to go somewhere else after that. I don't know if it was a halfway house. I don't know what it was that she had to go to after she got out of jail, but he had got her a lot of time. I guess he didn't fight the way he's supposed to have fought for her. And at the time, guys, I didn't have money. I didn't have, I had a court-appointed lawyer. I had a court-appointed lawyer and whatnot. So, I'm like crying. I'm scared. I made a phone call, told my mother. I was like, Mom, this lady said that she had got a lot of years with this same lawyer. And my mom was telling me, you need to go ahead and change him. So my court date was coming up, right? And I went into the courtroom. Again, this is my first time ever being in jail. This is my first time ever experiencing, lawyers and judges and things like that. Well, I experienced it, judges, when I was younger, because again, I was, that's another story. But being in jail, this was my first time. So, y'all, when I tell y'all, this was my first time seeing this here attorney the day of the court date. And I asked to speak to the judge, and I told her I wanted to switch. So the judge was like, why do you want to switch your attorney? And I was being real. I said, he was in there, y'all. He was in there with me and everything. And again, this is my first time seeing him. We haven't yet spoken. So I said, because the lady that I'm celled with in my cellie, she said that that's her lawyer, and he had got her a lot of time, and I just want to go home. This is my first time being in trouble. I do not want to be here no 4 years. And that's what he got her. I was just being real. So he comes to me, right? And he tells me, do you know me? And I said, no. And it was somewhere along this lines is what he said. He was like, do you know me? I said, no. He was like, what did he say? Do you know me? And I said, no. And he was like, okay, so you're going off of what someone else told you? And I said, yeah, she's my cellie. She said you got her a lot of time. So that's the reason that, I wanted to switch attorneys. And he kind of left it like that. He was like, okay. And he left it like that, and he went back to his seat, y'all. Listen to me. Let me tell you how God works. So the judge asked me again after I spoke to him, after he came and spoke to me. She said, are you sure that you want to change lawyers? If so, we can get you another court-appointed lawyer if you want to switch. Let me tell you what God did, y'all. The Holy Spirit just took over me, and I didn't even know it was the Holy Spirit. And my word said no. Like, it said no. My body, everything was telling me to keep this here lawyer. So the judge asked me, she say, are you going to get a new lawyer, or you want to keep this one? And I guess it was the Holy Spirit that my body was telling me, like, keep him. Keep him. So I kept him. I said, no, I'll keep him. I didn't know what was going on. Let me tell you, I'm just trying to breeze through this stuff and let them know, I don't want to be here a long time. I'm being honest. So now that I sat in here today and I thought about that. Listen to me. When I told him, you got my friend, the lady in the cell, you got her a lot of time. You got her 4 years and da-da-da, right? And the judge asked me, do you want to keep this lawyer, or do you want to change him? And then I felt in my spirit to keep him. I don't know why. I didn't have language on why I wanted to keep him, but I kept him. That right there at that moment, that was a challenge for him. He's probably never had to endure that type of challenge to where it was like a mind manipulation thing, if that makes sense. It was like someone was testing him and trying him, so now he has to prove a point. Ooh, that was so good. I just thought about that in the house. He was being tried, so now he had to prove a point, y'all. He had to prove a point. So this is what happened, y'all. When I kept him, I said I'm gonna keep him. I tell you, that man got me out so fast. I was out of jail swiftly when I kept him. The bunkie that I had, the lady, when I had they told me, you know, bunk up, roll your, you know, you roll your little beds up and you go ahead and get out. My bunkie, I had told her, I said, she was like, you going home? I said, yeah. He ended up getting me out. She was livid. She was livid because he had got her all this time and I was getting out. But that was nobody but God orchestrating that whole situation. That was nobody but God orchestrating that whole situation. Because if that lady wouldn't have told me what she told me, if I would have never told the judge and the man heard it, the judge heard it, it was like something went off in his brain, something went off in his body to where he needed to challenge that now. You see what I'm saying? It was like a reverse psychology that happened to where now he has to prove a point. Now he needs to get me up out of here. So that's what he did. And I was out. I was supposed to have a 2 to 10 year life sentence. And I got out. That's one of my experiences, y'all. I wanted to share this, guys, with you guys because God is so good. And I thought back on, you know, everything that God has brought me out of. And it's more than that. Like, that's just a little sprinkle. God has brought me out through so much, guys. God can do all things. He can do anything. He can use people, and he knows the correct things to do. And I didn't even know that I didn't even know it was gonna play out that way. I didn't know, you know, if I was supposed to be just letting the judge know these specific, like, I voiced it because I'm scared. This is my first time in the courtroom. I voiced it to her. I said, Judge, I need to speak. I need to, you know, I had to voice it. I need a new, and he was in there. I had to let him know, like, I need a new lawyer. She said, why you need a new lawyer? I said, because, and I told her why, because someone in my cell has the same lawyer, and she said that he got her all this time, and this is my first time being in trouble. I'm going to go home. I may even started crying. I don't even remember if I cried or not, but I probably did. And he came to me. It did something. God did his thing with that. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know, God can do all things. He is in the midst of your situations. He is in the midst of the previous situations. If God got a calling on your life, he's going to make sure that you get to that calling. You see what I'm saying? So, guys, I'm just being real with you guys. This is my story. This is one of my testimonies of how God delivered, or not delivered me, but he brought me out of that situation. He brought me out of that situation. Okay, guys, until next time, I love you all.